You know what's great? Going to a game. You know what's not great? Parking at a game. With Uber, you can turn event parking into a non-event. Just install the Uber app. Enter your destination, confirm your location, and within minutes, a car will pick you up. I know, right? With upfront fares, you can know the price before you go. And you pay with the Uber app so you can save your cash for the souvenir shop. So make tonight a fun night. Install the Uber app now and take your first ride today. Uber, the better way to get there.
Hello and welcome to the Success Showcase. I'm your host, Eric Lopkin from the Modern Observer Group. Here as always with Chip Janiszewski of the Happiness and Success GPS. We're just coming off of a Thanksgiving break. I hope everybody was thankful for everything they've got. And today we're going to talk about how you can develop yourself to take what you're thankful for and build on it and get even more. So Chip, how was your holiday?
It was absolutely awesome. Sons were home. It's nice to have a noisy house. It was great. How about yours?
Excellent. Fantastic. We went away, visited family, got to get out of the house. It was great.
That's awesome. And we stay away from scales for the next 2 weeks.
Absolutely. So today we're talking about personal development. And personal development is probably the most important investment you will ever make. It's about building yourself, and there are so many ways to do it. So, Chip, what are some of the resources you use to build yourself up?
As you know, I am always listening to development books on audible.com, and that's really become a big part of my life. Way back from the CD days and cassette days before that is just working on that. And it's just so important for people to realize that they have to work on that too, because these are things that usually aren't taught in school. You're usually just learning what so you can get to the next grade, and then at work you're learning how to do a good job. And it's really, really so important to really tie this whole thing together by working on the most important thing, and that's the person in the mirror. So it's something that I've done for a long time. Obviously, I have a lot of books and things like that I can share with people, and audible.com is a great place where you can just build up your library and listen to these books all the time. But it's really, really important to set aside some time, every day or every week or whatever to work on you so that everything else really comes into perspective, and you'll have a lot happier life by doing it too.
Absolutely. And I've actually got a couple something I hear is, I want to spend more time developing myself. I've got too many other things I have to spend the money on. I don't have the resources. I'm spread too thin. Well, we have a couple of free resources here that I want to discuss with you. And I think everybody really needs to be taking advantage of some of these things. And the first, which I'm amazed at how many people forget about this, is the public library. If you can't afford to keep buying books, well, guess what? There's a whole bunch of free books right there waiting for you. They have regular books, audio books, CDs, DVDs. The public library also offers you access to databases, periodicals. Most of them now have workshops and support groups.
Absolutely.
Chip, I know you've presented courses at your local public library.
Yeah, actually, the Simsbury Public Library really kicked off this program, the business development program, when I first went into my entrepreneurial career back in 1996 into website design. They had the program going even back then as far as the business series goes. And I know they have workshops every Wednesday night plus a whole bunch of other things there. And if you just go to the Simsbury Public Library website, there's events that are listed on there all the time as far as what's going on. And I think there's probably a whole lot of other continuing ed programs that are going on in different towns. A lot of them are, inexpensive. And so using the resources like the library, like you were saying, is really, really important. And obviously, if you have book titles and so on, you can also go online and Google that, and oftentimes you're going to be able to download PDF summaries of what's in there also. So there's just all kinds of stuff out there, and really what you just have to do is put your mind to it to use these things.
Right, and you really do need to take a look at what the public library has become, because it's not the same as it used to be. And a lot of their resources are available from your home through the web. I know there are a number of local libraries that actually offer free downloads of audiobooks. They offer database access from your home. So it's really an important resource. And again, it's all free. All you have to do is get a library card.
Yep. Libraries are way beyond books now. They are keeping up with the times.
In fact,
so, of course, they still do have books if people remember what those are.
They still have books. They still have magazines. But take a look at what your local library offers, because you would be amazed. There was a story done on the CBS Evening News. This is probably going back about 2 years, about how some libraries have adapted to their communities. And now, not only can you borrow, videos, DVDs, some of them were offering, you could borrow power tools. You could borrow fitness equipment. They were really branching out to meet the needs of their communities. So take a look at your local library website, go visit and see what they're offering.
Absolutely. Also, if you have particular subject matter that you are looking into doing, I do this a lot of time when I'm developing my talks and so on. If you just type in topics in Google, you're going to come up with a lot of really, really neat articles that you can take a look at for free from places like Entrepreneur and Forbes and all these different business resources out there too. So they're available all over.
Absolutely. Yeah, take a look at business magazines, development magazines, fitness magazines. Most of them have websites that have free articles, free videos to help you work. And it's not just learning about the mind. I am a regular visitor to menshealth.com, which is Men's Health magazine online, and they have exercise videos, they have workout suggestions, diet suggestions, to help you get into shape. And exercise is a very important step in personal development, because studies have proven the more fit you are, the better your brain works. So you're not just, caring for the health of your body, you're also improving your mind when you exercise.
Absolutely. And, the other areas of your life, most people think about just your profession, and you just talked about exercise, but you have philanthropic and other things that are a big part of your life too. And if you just list down the different things that you stand for in these different areas, you're going to come up with a lot of things to work on. Recreation, vacations. There's a lot of different things that you can do. And there's information about all those just by going online and Googling them. So it's takes the time to do it.
Right. When we talk about learning new subjects, it's not just about work. Learn a language. There is a fantastic free app called Duolingo. Teaches you foreign languages, and you do it on your smartphone or your tablet. It's absolutely free, and it has been proven to work. I like that particular app, but there are a lot of other ones that also teach foreign languages. It is important for your mind that you keep learning.
Absolutely. Can you give us the spelling of that?
Let me just double check that and make sure I get it right.
Pull out the old iPhone. Here we go.
That's it, yeah. And of course I've got it buried in a folder somewhere. It is Duolingo. Duolingo.
Just like it sounds, Duolingo.
Yep.
Cool. I'll have to check that one out myself.
Yeah, it's available for multiple languages. It's great. And
that's really neat.
Speaking of learning, sometimes we even need a refresher, or we want to look at something. We know we learn this stuff in school, but the fact of the matter is, we didn't take it all that seriously. Well, there is a great site called Khan Academy, Khan Academy. It started out as free online courses teaching kids math. It has since grown. It now includes all sorts of different sciences: biology, chemistry, physics, computer programming. There are courses in personal finance, which quite frankly is something every one of us should learn. And these
Absolutely.
they're all free courses. And they've expanded to so much. They still have your basics, grammar, math, which are great for, introducing your kids to this. But they get into such advanced topics now, such as macroeconomics, which, these are things can help your job, help you learn more. It's a fantastic free resource. I highly recommend it.
Absolutely. Another good place, a little bit outside the box thinking here to go to just kind of look up topics to spark your interest, because a lot of times, you're going to sit down and say, okay, what am I interested in? It's always nice to have a little bit of a push so that people can say like this, like that. Just go into any major college website and take a look at their majors.
Yes.
Or go into a town website and take a look at the different topics that they have coming up. And there's a whole bunch of things there that are going to spark your interest that you can take a look at. So when I was actually doing a course for students, high school students, I actually did that. I went into the Central Connecticut State University website. The course is on entrepreneurism, and it was talking about whatever you dream of and whatever you're looking to do some research and so on. And this was to spark them. And there were literally a couple of hundred different majors there just in the catalog from Central Connecticut State University that these folks could choose from. So if you want to, just get some ideas, that's a really good place to start and see what colleges are teaching for majors.
Absolutely. And, speaking of colleges, another free resource that most people don't realize is out there. If you are a senior, I believe in most cases they define it as 62 or older.
I qualify.
There you go. Most state colleges offer free courses. You can actually take college courses for free as a senior.
That's pretty neat.
It's a great way to keep your mind fresh. Again, personal development doesn't stop when you retire. The more you learn, the healthier you are, the healthier you can keep your mind. So if there's something you always wanted to explore, a free college course is a great way to do it.
Yep, and it's never too late. So you got to keep active with that stuff every single day, and you'll live a whole lot longer for doing that. And as far as I'm concerned, age is just a number anyway.
Absolutely.
Live every moment.
Then another great free resource to find all sorts of entertainment and information is called TED. Now, I'm sure you're familiar with the TED Talks, Jeb.
Absolutely. Fantastic site.
If you go to TED.com, you can find thousands of videos, all of which are 18 minutes or less, and they cover technology, entertainment, global issues, politics, design.
Personal development.
Absolutely. They have information on all sorts of topics, and there are videos in over 100 languages.
Yeah, it's amazing. And, I mean, for those of you who are just looking to be able to be better presenters as far as what you're talking about, they purposely have their own way of crunching these things down into 18-minute talks. And there's a book out there about TED Talks as far as putting them together, which I highly recommend people who present to get that out there. And really what you do is you drill it down to 3 different takeaway points, and you get everything talked about in 18 minutes so that you're really doing a really great job talking about things. And it's really intertwining your own story in there and a lot of other interesting things. So I highly recommend getting that. And actually, you can get that on Audible also, but I recommend getting the book because you'll use that as a reference.
And absolutely. One of the great things about TED Talks is it's not simply people talking about a topic. They're talking about their lives, things that they have had to overcome, experience they've had, and they're sharing all of this with you. They're absolutely fascinating, and a lot of them are great jumping off points to learn more from. In business, I often talk about a book called Start With Why. Mm-hmm. And it's, why you do what you do. It's a fantastic book, but I discovered it because the author did a TED Talk, and his video is absolutely inspiring. So that's something. And there are people you've heard of on TED Talk, famous actors, comedians, CEOs, and then there are folks that you've never heard of who have come out and they have told their stories, and they're absolutely mesmerizing.
And really, it's something that you can prepare yourself, and they have these TED Talks things all over, and you can prepare that and try to do one yourself. But it's you mentioned, all the different people that are on there. As part of your personal development, it is so neat to just see people talking about their experiences, because you're going to identify with a whole lot of those things, or it might hit home with you as far as this is something that you want to pursue yourself. Could be helping out philanthropically and that kind of thing. But they are just amazing. And, if you want to take a break from reading sometime, it's just great to go to that website and take a look at a whole lot of different things there. So.
Right, and they also have something called TEDx. Now, TEDx are affiliated events, but these are local events held all around the country that you can actually go to and hear people talk, and in some cases give talks yourself and actually interact with the people giving the talks. So that's another great way. You get out, you're meeting new people, learning new things. So take a look for where there are TEDx events in your community.
Absolutely. That's what I was actually driving towards. I just forgotten the name of the event, but it's so neat interacting with these people, because you have people maybe in your neighborhood or in your business contact sphere who have done these things. They are not unusual, and there's a whole lot of them out there, as you've said. So, and it's just really a great way to self-organize and present things and have a lot of fun and meet a lot of interesting people who will really help you with your own personal development just by stimulating it.
Yep. It's a fantastic resource. And again, everything on TED is absolutely free. So there's no reason not to take advantage of it.
Absolutely.
Now, going into some more specific types of development, the fact of the matter is, we are reaching a point in human existence when no matter what it is you want to do, it is helpful to understand a little bit about computer coding. I mean, personally, I think every student needs to learn how to code, because it has become omnipresent in our lives. Even just, doing a podcast like we're doing, it's useful to know some code. Fast food jobs were, used to be, would you like fries with that? And that was, the starting point for every high school student. These jobs are going away, being replaced by self-serve kiosks. People need to know how to program those kiosks. It's a huge job skill. And there is a great site called Codecademy, and it's CODECADEMY.com. And you can go to Codecademy and take free courses that start you learning how to do code. Starts with helping you build a website, and it takes you through step by step what you need to do to build the site from code. You're not doing design work. This is all line by line coding.
HTML and beyond.
HTML, CSS, PHP, JavaScript. The lessons all build on each other to become, more and more complex. You don't have to go that far, but if you look at the basic courses, it gives you a great idea as to how these things are built. And let's face it, if you're in business, you need to have a website. Now, most of us would much rather hire a web designer to do it, but isn't it good to have enough knowledge to understand what they're talking about and be able to converse with them about it? I'm not even talking about being able to build it yourself. I'm talking about just having enough knowledge that you're not bringing someone in and going, well, I don't know what they're going to do, but go do it. It gives you the ability to talk with them, to understand what they're doing for you, and it gives you a better idea of what's possible and what's not possible when you're talking to them and figuring out what kind of website you want.
So Codecademy is a place where you can go and actually learn the code. Does it also kind of give you an overview of the different things that you should be learning?
It does. It talks about HTML. It talks about PHP. It talks about CSS. Now, of course, if you don't understand code, you don't know what any of those initials mean, but it will take you through what the different types of coding are, how they're used, and when you would use them.
Yeah.
So it does.
No, obviously, great knowledge to have.
Another thing that comes up periodically is people want to improve themselves, but they're stuck because of something that they did or something that happened, and now they're dealing with issues of divorce, debt, all sorts of things that, there are legal implications to. And let's face it, not everybody is in the position to be able to hire a lawyer to get advice to sort these things out. Well, your local bar associations offer free legal clinics. So if you are dealing with a lot of debt, if you're dealing with the possibility of a divorce, child custody, family issues that there's a legal aspect to, you can get free help from these clinics. And if you just go to Google and type in free legal clinic and your city and state, you'll be able to find where the bar association is putting these on to help you settle your problems and move on.
Yeah, the internet is just so full of information for these things. And, one of the things I did want to touch on before we finish up today is really the importance, and I know we've talked about this before, of really finding your own purpose and your why and your passion. What do you stand for? Why are you here? So that you're getting out of bed every day to work on something that really, really makes you happy working on it. So it's so important to use all this background information that we talked about today, but you really need to be working on your personal development statement so that you can really put that to work for yourself.
Definitely. You need to understand who you are, what it is you enjoy, what do you want to do. And that goes beyond what your job is. It's looking at your hobbies, how you spend your free time, what nonprofits interest you, spend some time volunteering for a nonprofit. It's a great way to explore different things, learn more, and give back to the community.
Absolutely. What do you want your legacy to be? What are people going to talk about after you're gone? And it's just really so important. And this is what drives you. This is absolutely what drives you. So write these things down on paper. These are the things you need to research. But coming up with your purpose, and it's obviously to help out mankind in some way. And you have your own special, unique talents to do that kind of thing. And you're constantly going to be developing your purpose and your why, too, because it's ever-changing. However, finding that fundamental core is so important. And the quicker you do that and the more you're working towards that on a daily basis, the better off your life is going to be for sure.
Right. There's an old exercise that a lot of people think it's a little morbid, but one of the ways to figure out where you want to end up is to actually write your obituary. And what is it that you want people to say about you when you're gone?
Absolutely. That's right out of Michael Gerber's book, The E-Myth Revisited, when you're working on your vision and your passion. And he so elegantly says, works into that, but it really is important. If you can write your own eulogy right now, obviously that's going to be something that'll spark you towards finding your purpose in your why for sure.
Right. And again, there's so many ways to improve yourself. We've barely touched on them in the time we've had, but one I do want to just mention briefly is meditation. Take the time to sit quiet and meditate. And it doesn't have to be a formal meditation class or anything like that. It's a matter of sitting quietly, focus on your breathing and relaxing and getting your mind into the present. There's a huge number of books on what's called mindfulness now. And it's all about having your mind and body together in the present, where you're not worrying about what's going on tomorrow, what's going on next week. Enjoying what you're doing right there and relaxing.
Absolutely. One of the main authors that comes to my mind is John Kabat-Zinn, and he's right out of, I think, Massachusetts, and he's written a few books on mindfulness. And there are actually meditation apps that you can get online, Headspace.com and a couple of other ones where you can actually have guided meditations or, just ring the bell and sit for 20 minutes.
There's also some great guided meditations on YouTube. Pull it up on your phone, put your headphones in, and follow along. It's a great way to center yourself, and it works on your internal development. Because again, we're talking about personal development. You're developing your mind, your body, your soul. It's the whole package.
Right. So two really good apps that help you out with the meditation. Number one is Insight Timer. That's INSIGHT and then Timer. And then another one is Headspace. Headspace, I think, is a subscription. Insight Timer is free, but they both have a whole bunch of different things in there where you could do guided things or just, ring the bell to do that. So, but it's so easy as everything else is these days to grab something on an app or online and make it work for you. But you're absolutely right. The more that if you can just take 20 minutes, a half an hour a day to yourself for your mindfulness, it's so important.
Absolutely. Take a little time to meditate and work on your mindfulness. Take a little time to exercise and get your body in, and make sure to read every day. I think those are, the big three takeaways I would say. Chip, what do you say just before we wrap up?
I couldn't agree with you more, but the most important thing is no matter what you do, work on yourself every day.
Absolutely. We've been talking about personal development, and this has been the Success Showcase. You can listen to the podcast every week on blogtalkradio.com/xvadio or find our episodes on iTunes and the Apple Podcast app. We look forward to joining you each and every week and building your success. So for this week, have a great week, and remember to work on yourself.
Hi, this is Maury Moreland Morrison, here to tell you Geico has more than just great savings. Much more. Geico's been around for more than 75 years, back when they were using Morse code. Sorry, that's just my sense of humor. What's more, with Geico you get 24/7 access to licensed agents on the app, online, or over the phone, so you can talk to them at night or in the morning. So forevermore, just know that no other auto insurer has more than Geico. More power to you. Geico. Expect great savings and a whole lot more.
And now, insurance-minded speeches from Geico.
It's a common expression, don't look a gift horse in the mouth. However, what if the horse's mouth is filled with useful insurance tools? This is the exact case with the Geico app. Yes, the app is free and therefore a gift horse. However, look inside the app and behold, emergency roadside assistance, digital ID cards, bill pay. Get the Geico app. Look it in the mouth, get amazing services. Thank you.